What's up, guys? Back again with another video. Today I got a video for you, but I have to apologize, as I'm going to apologize all winter long for the amount of wind turbulence that is going on where I am. It's wintertime, so of course, 100% there's going to be a lot of wind. As every year I've made videos, there's so much wind during this time of year. So I'm going to have to apologize for it. I wanted to make a video yesterday, but there was a lot of wind turbulence, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to put you guys through it. But of course it's going to be again today. I'm here in Wyoming, and of course it's always windy here. So I realized I got to make a video. I got to play catch up. Can't pull over and make a video. I work 20+ hour days. A couple days ago I worked 928 miles, or give or take. Yesterday did 860 or something like that, plus pickups and delivers and stuff like that. So I'm very busy. I don't have time to be pulling over and making a video with less wind turbulence. So you're gonna have to kind of sit through this. But I am going to speak a little louder to sort of combat that wind turbulence. So before I begin, disclaimer. I have a feeling throughout this whole video, people are going to say, well, that's not necessarily true, or they'll say something like, well, not always, and say shit like that. And that's why I've been saying the word essentially a lot lately in my videos, because I'm saying essentially, or the probability, or chances are. You know what I'm getting at? Like, people are going to say that, well, that's not necessarily true. I know somebody. Okay, buddy. Okay. We're not going to get through this video if we're going to all cry about variables and exceptions, right? So in this video, I'm going to say the word essentially a lot, because I think this video is going to need it more than any video in the past. So let's begin, shall we? Let me sip my coffee and let me organize my thoughts, because this might be a long video, but I'm glad to make this video. It's about time I made this video. I gotta play catch up on videos anyways. I'm so many videos behind. I have video requests. I gotta start making these videos. I gotta start pumping these out and give my heart and soul into each video. So we're not gonna go slow. We're not gonna go speeding through this video or any video in the future. I know you guys hate seeing an hour and 30-minute video. I'm not gonna sit through this. And then the real important shit at the end, no one gets to hear, if they even did click on the video. But it's very important that I plug out these videos and that I organize my thoughts and I deliver them essentially to where you guys can digest it properly. Alright, let me organize my thoughts here, because this is going to be one of them videos. Probably going to have to shave my beard or trim it. It's getting a little too long. I don't think the ladies like it, but it's a video for another time. Whew. Let's think about it. In the past, especially the past, we have had a different idea of what is attractive in a mate. We've had different ideas of what makes the best mother or father or husband or wife. And these ideas, through culture and different ages of time, has changed and fluctuated over these many eons of time. And I want to talk about some things. Let me give you an example. Just in the last 40 years or so, we've looked at women with curves as being, first off, let's start off like this. Skinny women, about 30 years ago in 1980, skinny women, oh, they were hot, no ass or anything, so sexy, right? Then all of a sudden the 90s came around, and all of a sudden we need some curves on that woman. And all of a sudden this is sexy and glamorized. And then all of a sudden, nowadays, it's like, wow, that totally disfigured ass and those really fucking huge tits and all this fat is attractive all of a sudden. Wait a minute, where did this transition come from? And who's the mastermind behind it, plugging it into your TV to make you think that this is now attractive? Now, essentially, what big ass and titties were meant to represent was, okay, she's going to survive the winter. She's going to be able to provide milk to my children. That was a positive in attractiveness 2,000 years ago or more, right? Not in 2019 when you have the total ability to take care of yourself a little bit, right? But the problem is that we have been changing as a society. I don't know who is influencing it or essentially why, but things have changed. Let me give you an example. Nowadays, women love tall, dark, and handsome men. They love tall, dark, and handsome men. It's essentially the greatest man to sleep with now. But not the greatest type of man. Essentially, there are exceptions. Essentially, not the greatest type of man to be the greatest father for your children or the greatest husband. Let me explain to you Chinese culture. We'll do Asian culture, Chinese specifically. And I think Korea does the same thing. For thousands of years, Chinese culture has been, okay, well, you want to mate with the pale men in your society because they are going to have more resources, security, and safety for you and your children. And the darker skinned Chinese would essentially be the peasants out in the field getting sun all day. So they would look at the sun, the effect from the sun on the person, and distinguish that's not going to be somebody with a lot of resources, home time. It's not going to be a great mate. And essentially, women looked at, and even up until this day, looked at pale Chinese men to sleep with. Do yourself a favor. If you don't believe anything that I'm going to be saying in this video, do your fucking research. I'm not fucking blabbing just to blab, right? There's no benefit to me. So, in Chinese culture, that is essential. Get the lightest skinned man because that triggers in your mind safety, security, resources. Great husband. Great father. That's just essentially the truth, right? Because the peasants out in the field aren't going to be able to have enough resources or safety or security or a nice big house or any of that because they are poor. That is looked at as a lower class. Okay? Just throwing that out there, I think it's very essential for this video. And like I said, I'm going to be saying that word a lot in this video. Let's look at what women in ancient Greece looked at men as different as they are looking at them now. Again, I'm going to go back to my essentially tall, dark, and handsome men are not as good husbands or fathers, but they are much better in the here and now, not in the long term. You guys can call me racist or not. I don't care. You can call me tallest or not. I don't care. You can call me whatever or not. I don't care. That's not the point of this video. But nowadays, why do men go to tanning parlors or salons or whatever? Get all tanned, look good, your skin looks good, and, you know, of course, darker skins bring out bigger muscles, or it makes it look like you have bigger muscles. So it makes you look a lot better. And if you're taller, that's more apt for women to be sleeping with you because of many different reasons. Safety, security, like that's the triggering mechanism nowadays. But that wasn't the trigger mechanism in ancient Greece 2,000 years ago. What was important about ancient Greece? Well, it was quite the opposite. It was, again, pale men. Just do yourself a favor. Look up any Greek statue from the ancient times. Those philosophers, they had hair. They were hairy men. Nowadays, women don't like hairy men, right? But they were hairy men. Longer hair, and shorter hair was meant to represent military or somebody of lower peasant class that is going to fight for your country, which is essentially expendable. and very risky to date these people because they could just be dead or lose a limb or whatever, right? So those short hair people were representing a big risk. So longer hair represented in beards and such, and this would represent more wisdom. Now, if you look at those Greek statues, they're generally a little buffer than your average American man today. So I've seen studies, and I've seen it on YouTube of these YouTubers going around asking women, what do you like more, a big dick or big muscles? And 90% is about the average. 90% of women choose men with nice muscles rather than a big dick. And that is essentially what they have all different types of reasons for it. This guy next to me was staring at me, making me feel awkward about talking about big dicks all of a sudden. Yeah. But, yeah, 90% of women chose the muscles over the dick. You look at that Greek statue, whoop, 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 whoop. Tiny little pecker, right? And we can all agree that nowadays women don't go out and be like, whoa, look at that tiny dick. Woo-hoo-hoo. Nice pale skin, tiny dick. It's not essentially what women go for, right? Something has changed. Those Greek statues were meant to represent wisdom, philosophy, change of arts and philosophy. A big radical change, which would actually represent better status males, better quality of man being a good father and a good husband, and for the long term, and better to be more liked among the people, etc., right? And the darker, taller, big-dicked male was actually not a priority for women. In fact, women were taught and understood through their peers, through evidence, through experience, that the taller, darker, big dick man was less of a good father figure in the long run, but they were generally more womanizers. They were more of the person that, let me just explain something real quick. If you have a big dick, that represents more blood flow into your genitals, into that area, into your penis. And all that blood is actually taken away from your mind and your heart. And so if you're constantly having blood flow to your dick, you're constantly thinking about sex. You're not thinking about the long term. You're not thinking about many different avenues. You're not really having too much of affection and love with that woman. You generally would want more sex. Women looked at tall, big dick men as, you know, problems, because they're going to probably cheat. They don't really love you. They're not going to be great fathers. They're not really intelligent. They're not really the ones to lay their life down for a woman. I know you guys are going to be like, I have a 10-inch dick, and I fucking love my woman. I raise my... I know. Okay? I get it. I don't want to hear that shit, and I know you guys below in the comments are going to be talking about that shit. Well, I'm the exception to the rule. If that is true, I know me and a lot of other people. I get it. I know that you guys are going to be talking about in the comments below that I'm an idiot or narrow-minded or something. Yes, I understand there's fucking exceptions. But the general gist, and especially in that culture, how they thought in ancient Greece, is you stay away from the big dick man, because they are not going to be great fathers for your children. They might not stick around. They might cheat. They're not loyal. And they're constantly thinking about sex. That's where the blood flow is going. It's not going in the heart and the soul in the heart. Now, this is just, I want to just say as a blanket statement, as a fact, but I know you guys below are going to be like, hey, it's not a fact. I'm an exception. I know, and I don't want to hear it. I know you guys, even me telling you that there's exceptions to the rule, you're still going to be talking down below in the comments about this. Now, so ancient Greek, the philosophers were muscle. not big dick. They were strong men, mentally, physically, spiritually. They were better fathers and better husbands. And women would want to be with them because they would be in a higher status. And if you had the same thing as the Chinese culture, you had the darker skin out in the sun all day, and you're going after that man, you're going to be in a lower class and have less safety, less security, and less resources. And you're going to have an unstable, very risky man. So that, I'm just telling you, I can see the comments going, unsubscribe. I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. But I'm still excited to make this video because you guys know I'm about the controversy. I like the controversy. And if you guys are catching feelings off my videos, I'm doing something right. You know, I've talked about rape and racist shit. You know, like, racists are normal. Rape is normal. It's normal shit. Get over it, you know? I mean, not get over rape, but get over that I'm talking about this subject. So, yeah, there's a lot of things in the past that have changed from now. We went from essentially pale people that were probably smaller dicks, probably shorter men, and then now we're into a culture where everyone's glamorizing taller men with big dicks, much darker skin tone, as that is sexy, that is hot, right? But the same also applies to women. I mean, the other way, where men are looking at women. They are looking at women as, you know, now we got to look at big asses, women that don't take care of themselves, and, you know, we're glamorizing that. Or looking at a magazine and there's a plus-size woman. Oh, look at her, she's gorgeous. And then guys are all like, yeah, I'd fuck that. You know, like, we're glamorizing unhealthy things. Where, essentially, we're looking at a pretty woman. But we all know a pretty woman comes with a lot of issues. Essentially, yes, you've got a good woman who's pretty. Okay, I get it. Get out of here with that shit. Pretty face equals drama. Pretty face equals she might cheat on you. Pretty face might turn into a lot of issues. Perhaps not the best mother for your children. Perhaps not the best wife. But we are going after these women as men nowadays and glamorizing these women that are either pretty or terribly unhealthy, and we're thinking that that is going to make a good mother for your children. It's not true. Essentially. God damn it. Man, I should, maybe I should make this whole video called essentially. Even though I am using that word improperly. But it's America, who cares? So, we are going nowadays after certain individuals as a mate, which is actually the least qualified to be the best for you. Now, as you see in advertising, in movies, in all of these things, they want to intermingle people or glamorize, like I said, the pretty girl or the tall, dark, and handsome man or whatever, right? Which, there isn't anything bad about seeing eye candy and such, but it becomes something that is going to derive into our subconscious, in which that we do tend to agree this is the great woman, or this is the good man, or this is the one I want. Oh, look at those muscles, look at the skin tone, look at whatever. And then you glamorize and then accept what is going on. For example, I made a video called Devaluing Men. It's one of my favorite videos I've ever done. It was something that was very crucial for my videos. I got a lot of MGTOWs off that video, but it is what it is. But the point is of that video is that we have replaced men. We have devalued men. Good men and have replaced it with government and sleazy, dumbass men. You can see it in sitcoms, in your cartoons like Family Guy or Homer Simpson, whatever, right? And you see over and over and over again, even in Disney, that the parents are dumb. The father is dumb. Why the fuck do we even have a father? And then we have more and more and more single motherhood, which go into bed with government in order to claim some sort of resources to make up for a good man. And we're taking good men out of society. And when we're taking good men out of society, and we're glamorizing not so good men, statistically, not good men, not great fathers, not great husbands, well, what's going on here? Why are we glamorizing something that is going to be devastating, not only to the subjective woman out there or man, but glamorizing something that is devastating to all of society, producing single motherhood, and you know all the problems from single motherhood. We are glamorizing people that are actually not good fathers, mothers, husbands, wives, but we all now in our subconscious want that. When you're looking at statistically, for example, a black man with a white woman, statistically would be one of the worst cases of divorce rates that we have in society. But we glamorize it, and you always see it in your TV shows, and then we want to all talk about equality or some shit like that, which that has nothing to do with equality or acceptance. First off, no objective mind has a problem with races intermingling, but statistics show, and I'm just telling you different types of statistics, and again, please look this up. I'm not making shit up my top of my head to go under some racist regime. You know what I mean? I can give two shits. But statistically, like when you intermingle races, and we'll go with the black man, white woman scenario, yeah, white women love black men for the here and now. Statistically, the least amount of fathers in the household is black men, especially when it comes to, and come on, I feel like you guys are going to be like, oh, I know a good black man and white woman. Yes, they have. But statistically, there's much more divorce rates, much more domestic violence and abuse, much more trauma and arguments. Like, come on, go into your typical black man, white woman scenario. Typical. Yes, you are going to find good ones. For example, my aunt is white. She's married to a black man for 23 years or something. They're still together. Yes, there are exceptions to the rule. Yes, I recognize there are exceptions to the rule. But statistically, there's much more divorce, much more single motherhood. White mothers with mixed children, white single mothers, any single mothers, generally from certain types of characters. Yes, generally, tall, dark, and handsome are not the best husbands and fathers. They don't make the best decisions. They think with their penis if they have big penises, right? Because that's where all the blood flow goes. And if you have all your blood flow going to your brain and heart, you're going to make a better husband and father. Come on. I'm a philosopher. I'm not somebody that's has an agenda behind what I'm saying here. I'm trying to stay objective as possible. But something has changed in society, and it's actually devastating to society, where we went from women would literally stay away from big dick men, or dark men, or tall men, or whatever type of men that I was explaining to you in other different cultures in the world. And they would stay away from these men because they knew that their safety, security, and their resources, let alone a million other factors that a good man would provide. Wisdom, survival, more likable, because, big dicks tend to be dicks, right? So, point is that I'm getting at is that, I'm not telling women to stay away from guys with big dicks, or I'm not telling women to stay away from guys that are taller or darker. I'm not telling women to do this. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I'm just applying a little bit of statistics and a little bit of knowledge in why things have changed. And ultimately, yes, this is an issue, but it's not so devastating. But there are aspects that are an issue in this that I see. No matter what your scenario is, if you're into that stuff, you know, tall, dark, and handsome, go for it. I don't care. If you're into pretty women, I know I am. I don't care. I'm not telling you to stay away from them. I'm not telling you to do anything. What I am saying is that something has changed. And it is affecting society. And if I don't address this, who is? Who's going to address this? And you know I love a little bit of controversy. Lord knows I'm not sexist, racist, or anything. I'm not against tall people. I'm not against pretty women. I'm not against these things. I'm just giving you some statistics and some ideas that are actually going to... I'm going to actually dive into it now. If you're looking at advertisements and movies and such, they always want to show the pretty girl or the very handsome, tall, dark, and handsome man. And they want to always say that, okay, this is the man you want, this is the woman you want. Or in advertisements, they always want mixed couples and such, you know, which tend to gravitate everyone to acceptance, right? But they don't want generally a white man and a white girl, let's say, or a black man or a black girl together. They want a mix. They want a white man with an Asian girl, or a black man with a white girl, or whatever, right? Which is fine. I don't see anything wrong with that initially, but if you look to everyone's psyche and what they are doing, they're actually making everyone accepting to something that is statistically higher divorce rates and is also contributing to the devaluing of men, good men. When I say devaluing men, I mean the good men, the ones who change society, the ones who have created and invented air conditioning, to whatever, right? To the automobile, make life easier and better for everyone, specifically women. Good men who lay their life down for a woman and their family. Good men that aren't going to cheat. Because statistically, the best man would be what those philosophers were back in the day. The intelligent people, the ones that are going to give up some sexual endeavors for their family. You know what I mean? And yes, there are exceptions to that as well. But the general gist is, if you look for a great man rather than somebody that is just going to make you drool until you sleep with them and then you realize they're a dick, you know, what are you looking for? The satisfaction now with the society that's so attention deficit? It's disgusting that people are like, oh, look at this new phone. I'm going to mindlessly pay for this phone $1,000 because I looked at it and it looked different and it was exciting. That's the attention deficit society that we are living in. And if we're basing everybody and what we like on initial looks or a 2-minute conversation with them, because, you know, the first time you go out on a date or you conversate with a woman or a man or whatever, the initial feelings that you get is going to be the overriding factor in which that you are going to distinguish what you feel about that person. And if you're going to continue into minute number 5 to hour number 2 to date number 2 to whatever, right? That initial response and understanding and feeling is what you're going to contribute, because that is the attention deficit society that we are living in. So we are going after, you know, that girl is, you know, boom, blood just rushes to your dick. She's fucking hot. My dick wants to go in her. And because we're thinking like this, and we're looking at Instagram models or whoever online and saying, or looking at ring girls or cheerleaders in the football game or whatever, we're looking at those as being the ones to get, the trophy wife, rather than a good mother and a good wife. Vice versa. Women are looking at men as, wow, he just made me fucking drool and feel all these feelings inside. Initially, yeah, okay, that's great. Now, what's going to happen a year from now after you just pumped out your first kid and this guy is not reliable? Well, I thought he could change. I thought he was going to be different. If he ain't ready to be a good father and a good husband, why are you with him? For your sexual endeavors. The same thing goes and vice versa. Men and women are looking for different types of women and men in society nowadays that are a complete 180 of what they looked for in the past, which made great civilizations and sparked great societies and sparked great lives for them. But they chose to go with the, wow, she's hot. Dick goes up, they plug her, get her pregnant, boom, now she's a single mom. Now she's sucking the tit of the welfare and government subsidies, replacing good men. In today's society, single motherhood's on the rise because they are not looking for alpha males. Watch my video on alpha males in the human race. It's extremely different than the alpha males in other species. Obviously, a bison or whatever, you know, the big bad bison, male bison is going to get all the women and going to beat up all the other males. That doesn't work in humans. It doesn't. There's providing safety and security, obviously muscles. That's what you need. You need the heart, mind, and soul to be a great father, to be a great provider, and a husband. That's the alpha male. But women aren't looking for that. Women are looking for something completely different, just like men are. It's a complete 180 from what it should be. And is it by design? I think so. I think the attention deficit, the cell phones, the screens, you're going from your phone to the TV. Oh, I'm watching this movie, but I'm also, the movie isn't even enough. I have to look at my cell phone too. You need 2 screens wherever you go. Screen after screen after screen. And you're addicted to your screen because, well, this one just got a little bit boring. Just a little bit boring. And I don't want to think. So I'm going to go straight to the next screen. Do you think it's by design? I do. Again, I don't think it's overwhelmingly destructive. I think that the mixture of attention deficit with these quick satisfactions and gratifications equal today's society. And I don't think that is positive. I don't think that's good, and no one's thinking about the children. And nobody wants to be told they're a bad parent. Nobody wants to be told you're a bad mother or a deadbeat dad or whatever. No one wants to be told that. They just want to regurgitate all of the information that is essentially lying to them. You're a great parent as your kid's just staring at a screen all day and you're just staring at a different screen. Oh, you're a great parent. Great parent. You're doing such a wonderful job. And you know me, if you're not new to my channel, you know me, I'm quick to be like, you're a piece of shit. No problem. I don't care if you're bigger than me. I don't care anything. I'm telling you how it is. You know, I don't give a fuck about these controversial topics. But you gotta also understand, it's not one-sided, it's not black and white. But 90+% of what I'm saying is quite fucking accurate. The advertisements, the movies, you know, that childlike mindset of instant gratification and satisfaction. That's what we want all the time. That's why we mindlessly consume new products and you know, we need a new cell phone every year. Why? I gotta read that. But I can cut this video short because the majority of what I wanted to talk about is placed out here in the YouTube world now. But yeah, I gotta respond to my dispatcher because I have a few drops today. And I gotta know what time to be there, where the addresses are and shit. So, yeah, stay tuned for more content. I hope you guys understood what I was getting at in this video. It goes in lines with my idea between differences between boys and girls. Go back and watch that video. My video devaluing men, and all of my videos talking about alpha males. All of this comes into this video. And how things have changed after thousands of years. Even though, like I said in the beginning of the video, just in the last 30 years, we went from supermodel looking skinny, too skinny, enjoying that, to all of a sudden curves started becoming hot, to now all of a sudden fat. What changed? Why do we all agree with this? There has some underlying factors that are swaying our minds and our interpretations of what is hot, what is sexy, what is beautiful, what is a good, husband or wife. And these things are swinging into a direction in which we are glamorizing the wrong type of people. And of course, I made that video. I made tons of videos on this, that we're glamorizing the wrong people. Watch my video on celebrities. Watch my video, I was talking about that fucking, like, why the fuck is that Cash Me Outside girl famous? Why? How are we glamorizing that? And now young boys, like 14-year-old boys, are like, whoa, she's hot. What the fuck? And then they're going to grow up to be like, that's hot. And then they're going to go after that woman, which we all know 100% when she gets pregnant, she's going to be a terrible mother to that child. We all know it. We all know it. But no one's talking about it. No one's talking about it because they are all stuck in their attention deficit lives where they don't have time to think. They don't have time to reflect or understand. That's why philosophy will change the world. And that's why I'm a philosopher. That's why I have this whole channel based on what's on my mind. The mind of Opex, the philosophy of Opex, because I stay as objective and moral as I possibly can. And I want to bring this to light for you guys. It actually wasn't that bad with the wind. So hopefully you guys could hear me very well in this video, and hopefully I articulated my points properly enough. But that's enough for this video. Stay tuned for more content. Plenty more coming. I got to play catch up. So see you guys.